These two men tied together hundreds of steel pipes onto a small boat and dragged them right into the middle of the ocean. Why? Because they were planning to build an entirely new country out there in the sea. First, one of them climbed up onto a pipe and opened its top cap. The moment he did, water started filling inside, and the pipe sank perfectly down into the sea, forming a solid pillar. Then, one by one, they dropped all the other pipes into the water, each sinking and locking into place. Soon they had created a perfect 200 square meter platform, a man-made floating island. Next, they needed fresh water to survive there, so they brought in 2 water drilling experts, and after several complex processes, they finally managed to produce clean, drinkable water right on the island. Everything seemed perfect. They were happy, peaceful, and proud of what they'd built. Then one day, a Coast Guard ship spotted them. An officer called out, "What are you doing here? You need to pack up everything and leave immediately." But the 2 men stayed calm and said, "This place doesn't belong to your country's territory, so you have no right to make us leave." The Coast Guard had no choice but to turn away. But that very night, a violent storm hit. Waves crashed over everything they had built, destroying it all in minutes. At the same time, a small boat appeared near the wreckage. A man on it called for help, and he became the first citizen of their new nation. Luckily, that man was also an engineer. With his help, they rebuilt everything, and soon a beautiful house stood proudly on their floating island. A few days later, another man visited the island. He asked what this place was, and they replied, "This is a country. Here there's no competition, no pressure, no stress, just peace and freedom." Impressed by their words, that man set up a tourist board right on the island. Within days, people began arriving, tourists from everywhere, and soon the 2 men started earning a lot of money. When the nearby country's government found out, they sent 2 officers to order them to leave the area. But guess what happened? Those 2 officers fell in love with the island too. They quit their government jobs and officially became citizens of this floating nation.